Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing a quick session of Pathfinder today to round out Vark's story, so we don't lose that momentum. We can keep going with that excitement. Fario will not be joining us for at least a little bit, as the child is settling, but he's nipped at the moment, so he's probably he's having a stomach bath. He's good. He's relaxing. Right.
Oops, my game wasn't launched.
So today we venture
The heart of Varkness.
I'm not gonna give you the gratification of responding to that title.
Also, Remy, fun fact real quick. Remember those tools you mentioned about the cone and stuff before? Yeah, like, because I was struggling to fucking draw, cones and whatnot.
Yes, in Roll20.
I'm pretty sure we have that now. Yeah.
I think you had to, I think either they pushed the beta through, or you had to opt into it. But yes, I had access
either
to
way,
it
yeah,
part of the Roll20 beta. Because they were rolling out new features. Anyway.
Yeah, it looks like I have it now because of, what's it called? UI changed.
Yeah, that was the new UI beta. So, Vark, you stand in what by all accounts looks like a rough-hewn cave system. To anybody else, this place would seem, well, like this, shrouded in the deepest pitch black darkness, but to you, this just looks like home. Because in a small, strange way, possibly in a way that is nowhere near as comforting as the tower, it is a piece of your home. You feel it in your very bones, but this is where you were summoned to the material plane. This is where your master breached the plane of shadow and pulled you over. Around you lies scattered laboratory equipment, started notes. Far ahead of you, in the darkness-soaked half of the chamber, is shattered and knocked over furniture, desks, half-finished projects. Even the light crystals mounted and grown out of the walls have become tainted and now radiate darkness rather than light, project shadow, serve to make the place more obscured. Within the shadows, you see blast marks. There looks to be a rupture in the ground somewhere. Collapsed rock, possibly shutting off, leads further into the pocket space cavern you're in. Pillars and stonework, and two metal-hewn bodies. More of Lydia's craftsmanship. So, one lays in utter ruin, destroyed, and, well, not a good sight. Limbs are severed. The head is blasted into three separate large pieces scattered around. And anything that might resemble functionality has definitely long since left this thing. But to your left is one that is still somewhat whole. Bereft of all limbs except for its right arm, slumped up against one of the collapsed and destroyed pillars, head missing one luminant eye. Golem, whose good eye, right, still glows with a faint blue hue. Lays there, collapsed against the stonework. The but you get the distinct feeling that its eye is observing, guarding you.
I have half a mind to just turn back. Not that I plan to. That being said, as I step off the platform, do I sense any kind of latent energy from it? Is it still active? Could I return?
The circle does still glow.
Okay. I'll leave them be for now. I turn my attention to the objects surrounding me instead.
Okay,
Honestly, I just don't want to look in that direction in general.
understandable. On those tables are smattering of things. What looks to be some form of woodworking bench, a barrel positioned next to it, and a couple of glass cases, as well as a crystal ball. In one of the glass cases, contained within, is some form of small fey creature, I guess. Long pointed ears. What appears to be a cape affixed to its back, but is actually a pair of dark gossamer wings that come together behind its back. The seam between the two wings melding and forgotten behind its back to make it look almost like a thin cloak. There's the crystal ball, and a glass case with a lemon in it. And around the lemon, on the floor and also scattered on the table, are some of those imbuing crystals that the method described.
Assuming the one on the map is actually there, I pick the one off from the ground.
You,
I at least think this is supposed to be a crystal.
yes. It's in fact one of the crystals.
Pick it up, turn it
Snatching,
over.
snatching it up off the ground. The crystal lights, and you get the distinct feeling that if you were to just push it a little bit, it would release the information inside.
Yeah, I peer inside.
Okay. Holding it in your hand, giving it a light mental nudge. It's like breaking the surface tension with soap across a cup of water. It then trickles out, and you hear a voice you have not heard in a very long time. By all my druid, how dare he tell me what I can't do! I will show him. Try to teach me a lesson in humility. I will show that braggart. That's all. The crystal is small. It does not contain very much. The first words you heard in your master's voice in many, many years, or I should say just many years, was a vent into a crystal.
As I reach out to place the crystal on the table, well, not the table, but the podest, the lemon is encased on. I realize that my hand is shaking. And I breathe in sharply, steady myself, and then place it down there.
As your hand goes to the pedestal, where other crystals are sitting, they too rise in their citrine glow with the proximity of your hand.
I grab the big one and give it a nudge.
The voice is calmer this time. You get the distinct feeling that she was reclining in a chair when she made this. Her voice is ponderous, but it definitely still has that sharp conviction that the previous one had. She says, I have been sitting here observing this bag of lights for a good while now, contemplating what exactly that druid was trying to teach me. It's not that I'm entertaining his ludicrous ideas or anything. For all, the man is barely any measure of my senior, let alone a self-righteous, self-convicted tree hugger. When I and the rest of the mages from the university decided to go on that little expedition to survey the ley lines and get an idea of the area, we needed that observation equipment. We need that for good data. But no, apparently that land is sacred. We told them we would use all known methods to us to establish installments that would not disrupt the natural area. But this one druid objected, and as a result, because it was not unanimous within the circle, we couldn't build our measuring devices. And then this man has the gall to walk up to me and hand me a bag of lemons and say, sometimes they cannot always give us what we want. I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what happens when life gives me lemons. And it begins off.
It's perhaps the first time that Vark hears himself laugh. If only shortly. I place the crystal down again. And the last one I do leave alone, at least for now. The lemon is preserved, I assume.
It is as lustrous and as ripe as the day it would have been picked off the vine. Or the tree, I should say.
God. Alright. I tap the glass shortly, but I'm gonna move on after this.
Lemon does not respond.
Yeah. Now, what's to the left here? It's just piles of lumber? A barrel?
Piles of wood, full working desk, and you think what may have been the beginnings of some sort of stove or maybe a fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, Lydia was human. This place might have been a bit chilly, assuming she didn't have some form of warming enchantment.
Quick backtrack to the fake creature. I really should have given it more attention. I assume it's deceased.
It's not breathing, and its eyes are closed, but it's also not decomposing.
Could just be preservation. There. I give its case a little tap. I'll wrap my nails against it.
It does not respond.
To be
There-
expected.
There is, however, a small blue crystal, which I did not nestled next to the case.
Well, why not? Yeah, I'll grab it.
The voice is older this time. This must be her when she was perhaps a couple decades older by human lifespans. And she sounds oddly enough more vivacious than she once was than when she was younger. Some of that spitfire in her has mellowed out, but at the same time, that same energy is still there as she. This time, you get the distinct feeling of contemplation. Like you get the urge to pace back and forth when it's crystal. This one came to me on my doorstep at the eve of a very important night out of nowhere. I have honestly no clue what to do with this. The symptoms are progressing at a alarming rate. This is not my specialty. It's not somebody around who can help this creature in time anymore. Anywhere within the. None of my friends are answering their sending. So it's up to me to try and do something. The best I can do for now, before we figure out something. To buy myself time to figure something out is to put him in stasis. And hope I can divine whatever is wrong with him afterwards. For now, though, he's going to have to go to sleep. Just hope that I can figure out what's going on. And then it cuts off.
I'm not an expert on diseases or afflictions of any kind. Does the creature appear to have suffered anything?
Outwardly, visibly? No. You make me a heal check.
I can gleam right now, at least. Put the crystal down again. It's another side of this room I have to check out. And I don't mean the obvious elephant in the room.
There's a couple of large cages on that side, as well as what looks to be some form of herbalism bench. You see pestles and mortars. You see knives for clipping and for chopping. You see bits of dried herbs, some things you don't recognize. Parchment paper, a pill press. And standing next to it looks to be a half-completed golem. Still in the works of being completed. And then further up the wall from that, some sort of probably a planning bench. You see offcuts of jewels, of gemstones, grindings, and cracked pieces that she would have probably clipped off of good gems, as well as so many crumpled up pieces of parchment and paper.
Yeah.
It's probably the drawing board where she came up with ideas. What it looks like, this place was her sub-basement. Twist, where she did all of her more dangerous experiments, the ones that required absolute concentration and peace of mind.
Driven by curious nature, I pick the closest crumpled ball of paper up and I unfurl it.
Very sorry, could you repeat that? Someone stopped.
No problem. Driven by curiosity more than anything else, I pick up the closest crumpled ball of paper and unfurl it.
It's mess, it's chaos. It's no wonder she crumpled this. From between the smeared bits of ink, charcoal, fingerprints, and just the creases messing with everything, you can make out words like immaterial, no substance possible. I'm not gonna let that stop me. And then various sigils being drawn out and scratched through, and yeah.
I'm gonna fold the paper neatly. There's no way I can get rid of the creases, not after it has been crumpled for so long. But I'll do my best to fold it neatly, twice, 4 times, and then I place it on the table itself.
In the bits and offcuts, you do notice one inscription gem. That's the loop between them. It may have stood apart at one point, but it would seem whatever blast shook this place, it scattered all of this and resulted in such a messy workspace.
I grab it, yes.
This gem's bigger than the rest. It's about the size, I would say, of say roughly the size of your typical cigar. Give it a mental nudge. It's clinical compared to the rest. It's less of a diatribe or a monologue and more of a set of punctuated notes. New discoveries on the shadow plane. It is, in fact, not a separate plane of existence. It is instead a reflection of our own in a strange way. This was not known to me. It's poorly documented. And the plane of shadow is the risk it presents. I'm not going to let it deter me. These are the things I know about the shadow plane. It is immaterial. Nothing there has substance. Nothing there has flesh or bone or anything. Anything brought here is transient. It's not last. No matter what sort of binding one uses, unless it is bound to a physical body of some sort. If I want to make this process work, I'm going to have to substitute it somehow. I think I have. It's risky. I'm not going to start this until I'm at 88% sure I'm going to be able to accomplish this with no risk to myself or to anybody else. I refuse to have this place turn into a gaping hole into the shadow plane. Because of my impatience. I also don't. more time I spend here, the more time I spend here. It's already been 30 years. I start to feel consequence of age. I start making preparations. I'm going to start getting things ready. Worst case scenario, I want him to know who I was. I haven't seen the kind of look in somebody's eyes that I saw in his for a very long time. It's so cruel of me to bring the language. It cuts off.
That crystal I pocket. I keep it on me. And with that, I suppose I have to face what's up there. So I partially wade, I partially step over more of those crumpled up sketches, notices, and I approach the seemingly functional golem robot.
Some form of animated metal construct. It observes you passively.
Do you recognize me?
His voice is hollow and tinny, but clear. You are the subject of the experimental planar shift experiment. You are subject. And then it seems
What is your? Yep, sorry.
it takes a
Sorry.
moment as the color in its eyes shifts a little bit. You are mistress.
What is your purpose?
To guard the chamber, to assist in experiments, to contain any false, contain any. Seems to pause for a moment. Was to contain any breaches.
Breaches.
In the event of a malfunctioning experiment or magical circle, we were to act as a stop guard and failsafe, halt any consequences of a failed experiment.
I look around and I'm trying to piece together what I remember of what happened here exactly. And and I'm drawing blanks. So I turn back to the robot and I ask, what happened here? Recall the events.
Something lights up in its chest. It's dim because of the encroaching darkness shed by the crystals and just soaked through the ground. But the dim light is there all the same. And the voice comes through much clearer, much more fluid. The intention with the planar shift project was to enact a shift of one body into the material plane. It was an immaterial body extracted from an unstable plane of contrary existence. So the goal was to summon the subject here, instill it with mass and permanency to allow it to roam the material plane without dissolving. It had been functioning as intended. The runic circle held up, but when the installation commenced, something was unaccounted for, something went wrong. Something else was not taken into account. The mistress attempted to go still and then rights itself again and says, the mistress attempted to account for this and improvised a solution and issued one last order that if she were not to survive, to make sure that you made it onto the ground floor. When the entrance to the plane of shadow ruptured, it decimated this cavern. Golem Beta was flung and destroyed, ripped asunder by shadow stuff. I was heavily damaged in the process. As per my mistress's instructions, I brought your body to the teleportation circle, sent you to the ground floor, and then saw to fulfilling my primary purpose. I stemmed the tide of the shadow. Unfortunately, the shadow stuff corroded my inorganic body. Though the tide is stemmed, it stains the ground. This is what I have become after it was quiet again. How long has it been?
$2,147 days.
With the corrosion, I project I have no more. It's half a year before my body comes apart. Given the state of how the tower must be, Lady Lydia's absence, I cannot project that anybody would be able to repair my body at this state. I do know I succeeded in both my primary and secondary function. Lady Lydia always did tell us to take pride in good work. No longer have a need to preserve power. She'd be glad you're alive. That you have found access into the spaceman installation means that you have gotten a hold of her compass rose. You now have full reign of the tower. The tower is yours. Is what she would have wanted.
Thank you. As the new owner of the tower, I ask you, your shell cannot be repaired, not by means available to me or my companions. What drives you? Is it a core? Can it be preserved? Taken from the shell?
There's a lattice of inscription crystals within my body to create a facsimile of a working mind, a series of crystalline neurons. If you were to remove this and prevent it from being damaged, that would preserve, I suppose it would be called the mind. Could be moved into a new body, but it would need to be a body that could bear the load. Our shells were purpose built to contain, to draw from the crystals. Golem bodies cannot facilitate this.
I can't help but glance over to the one in process. The one in the corner there, where it finished. Would it suit those needs?
That was Lady Lydia's newest prototype. It's meant to be one of her finest works. She had originally intended for it to accompany you, but does not work using inscription lattices. Perhaps it can be modified to do so. It is not known to me.
Half a year. Alright.
Let's go extract the crystals. Find somewhere safe to place them. Elements. There should be no degradation of memory or personality.
Suppose there is no place safer than this tower. Not here, not this stained place, but upstairs. I will keep you. I will preserve you. I promise.
A single blue eye regards you. You reminded me much of her. There was one thing she said before. She had failed to take into account to exist on the material plane requires two things, a body and a soul. You had a soul, but no body. You were pure shadow stuff. A substitution was needed to be made. But a soul from the plane of shadow cannot exist on the material plane for a long period of time without degrading. This she already knew and noted previously. material plane soul to firmly bind it to the world.
You mean her soul?
It's the only one available.
Daggers back. Nearly trips over the broken pillar. No. A soul is required for resurrection. I know that much about that kind of magic. I I I need to bring her back. How? If
She created a runic lattice body. It's intertwined with your shadow flesh. Gave it substance and the ineffable right to exist on this plane that your soul previously did not have. She could not meld her soul with you, because that would cause a unpredictable variable. Instead, she integrated it into your skin, cloaked you, your soul, to ward away any fate demanded exodus back to your home plane. I did not say you were a mistress because you have her compass rose. I look at you and I see her soul dancing across your skin.
God.
It always was within the lady's domain to laugh at the gods' demands. She did say that one of the first things she wanted to do when she got you here was to give you a hug.
Fuck! No! Not like, not like, not like this! Not like this! Okay.
Why are you lamenting?
Wanted to hug her back. Not this. Twisted mockery of that display of affection. I wanted to thank her for bringing me here. I wanted to learn more about the world with her.
Say that like that's not possible. Lydia waited 45 years to bring you into this world. Worked inexhaustibly, taking on other projects to fund it, stole nearly all of her possessions. Players running without having to take any commissions, any work. She didn't let anything stop her. This isn't the end. If you are even half of Lydia, she thought she saw herself in you. Don't let this be the end. You have everything you need. For the first time, actually moves, and its head shifts to look past his fallen brother. Skeletal body slumped against a desk, cracked in half under the weight of a blast that must have flung it. The soul, the body, and you have the will to see her again. Full facilities of the tower. Instructors left to you. Lydia, I know. Don't let anything stop her from seeing you again. Should you be any different?
He reaches up to wipe actual tears out of his eyes. You're right. Perhaps now more than ever I owe it to her. Alright.
The happiest I have ever seen my mistress was the moment she saw you come through that portal. In what limited capacity I have for feeling, I believe the two of you deserve to finally stand face to face, enjoy the sunlight together. It is only the end. Stop. What should be taught me?
Alright. Let's break the rules one more time, shall we? Let's find a way. And he pushes himself off the pillar.
You sounded just like her in that moment. She hated folks.
I don't know how long it's going to take. But I'm going to find you a new body. I'm going to have to repair this place. But then, given time, I'll do it.
You wish to extract my memory crystal. Open my chest plate. Must disconnect it before then pulling it out. As the bands of metal that intertwine. Something in my throat. This keeps happening. Intertwining bands of metal that make up an almost pseudo-metallic ribcage begin to individually slide back. And then the V-shaped chest plate slides downwards towards where its navel would be. You see what first looks like a angular fractal brick made of shimmering blue and purple crystal. Getting closer and looking into its chest, rather than being solid crystal, it is fine threads and wafer-thin planks of crystalline matter that courses with magical energy. You see lights shifting across these surfaces and strands from one place to another, and it looks... You would have seen nothing like it. You would have seen nothing like it in your time. It looks like someone took live wires and tangled them in an elegant mess that courses with charge back and forth. To say it looks like a bundle of neurons was correct. This is the closest anyone have gotten to creating a magical brain. Each individual wafer-thin crystal with a thought or a memory or an idea connects to another, and to another, and to another. If you want to disconnect it from the body as a whole, or a spellcraft check. This is
Okay.
followed by extracting it, actually lifting it out and handling it. It's going to require a sleight of hand. This
Do
is
you
a-
want to maybe summon Chico or someone?
That is a good point.
Or is Vark not clear-headed enough is the question?
No. I just realized I never add up my skills from leveling up. Doesn't matter right now. No, I'm just looking at my skills, and at the very bottom it says the total ranks,
Hmm.
and I'm missing the ones from my level up my 12 ranks. No, let me check something really quick.
Also, Remy, I hate you. Look at the DM I sent you, by the way.
That's all.
Terribly sorry. I got teary-eyed there during that scene for a little bit.
No, nothing. No, don't feel bad.
I mean, I don't blame you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let me fix your surrogate father, please.
Let me fix your bacon, Dad.
We babysit.
Chico's dad is dead. Yeah, Chico's dad might be dead, but she's not gonna let your dad be dead.
Exactly. I'm a doctor of a kind.
Okay. Well, it's better to do this safely. So I'm gonna take a good long look at it. Realize, while I probably understand what's going on here, this isn't the time to make mistakes. Any mishap could irreparably damage this thing. So, I hurry back.
Also, Jake called off, so the time limit on the session is. So,
Yes, yeah, I had noticed that.
What?
Oh, I'm in. Yin Rami and I were gonna get together and do something after, but Yin had something come up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm stuck in an ad trying to load the Roll20. What? I've never had this. They literally put a black screen on me. Okay, good.
I'm going to jump over the railing, hop down onto the stairs below.
Kari is still in the fucking bath. I just realized. I've always
Yeah.
said that Siren had these beautiful blue scales. I've told you, Bayer. I've told you many a times. I'm just.
Flick is over by the. Yeah,
Siren's
Flick is
not
over in
around
this
to
corner,
hear
just
that
kind of
shit.
admiring the setup.
Yeah, Siren is currently downstairs, and then Bayer just rolling over once, twice, thrice, and God, just fuck her already.
I had. You wouldn't understand.
Nah, you're right.
You dog.
Woof. Yeah, woof. Bayer, it is in the typical stoic dragon phase, because dragons don't typically emote overly much, especially with him having a more carapace-like head. Still manages something akin to a dopey look as he he cranes his neck over the side of the bath, chuckles to himself, and says, "Eh."
The youth.
They called you a dog back in that little village. And I was mad. I was mad for you. It seemed very uncouth.
I see you're doing great.
Kari
I
talked
called-
about
Mark, hello!
I called the Bayer a dog.
That's true, yeah. That's right.
I can't
Yeah,
help it
Chico
that I
did.
like getting scratched. Do I have ears? Do I have ears?
I don't know. And Kari puts his hands on his face. I have ears, so I would assume that you have ears.
Go off.
Has he been talking like this the whole time?
And
Vark!
the duck,
Are they
the
high?
duck,
Kari is clearly settled in.
the duck cries out over the clamor constantly.
Sigh. I apologize. I should have anticipated the effects of the Valeria. Well, can't be harmed now.
Oh, Vark, I don't say it very often, but I see you as just such a good confidant, and I'm very proud of you for making it to your home. It inspires me to find my home.
Just
Happy to hear that.
and then
Wonderful.
And most of all, I am very happy to have found a family that has not ignited my body. I am currently 1 for 2, and I will take the. Why are you here?
Wonderful. Yep. Mhm.
And he's gone.
Wonderful, yeah. Okay.
It's a hard
Anyways.
Is everyone?
Sorry,
everyone up
sorry,
first?
Car. Sorry,
we all-
Car. You're gonna have to save your what's the word? Your
Report?
Mushiness.
your mushiness for another time, because it seems Vark is a man on a mission.
Yes. Oh, I am not mush. I am scales.
Squishy. Yes.
Get Vark downstairs.
Bart continued on downstairs, and it's probably been long. It's been like another hour or a half. The Valeria would start to wear off, especially now because the water keeps getting cycled out.
Oh,
So
that's true.
it would eventually start to fade, though it would leave you with a pleasant buzz for a time.
Where are my clothes?
Somewhere in
Someone gets this man a tux.
Siren stole them. Teehee. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
No, she didn't. They're like scattered around on the stairs, probably.
The clothes are gone on the ground. Written with a crayon. Siren was here.
Serious here, smiley
Siren
face.
was-
Siren, use Arcane Mark for goodness sake. It's a free cantrip.
yeah.
It's a free cantrip. Please, just
Wait.
pick it up at this point.
I don't think I have that as a
You
cleric.
Yeah,
probably
actually,
don't. Yeah,
I don't
you
think
probably
you
don't
do,
because
yeah.
Arcane Mark.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. So I do it manually.
Whoa,
That's why you
not
have-
quite.
That's why you have chalk. It's not to describe like magical circles or anything. It's drawn on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Mark is racing down the stairs as Chaiko is deep in observation of the greeter goal.
Once again, just
Lady
Question,
Maria,
does it?
Hello. If you would be so kind as to notify Trico of my arrival, I have something to tell her.
She's not deaf anymore.
I'm
Oh,
not
wonderful.
deaf
Chaiko!
anymore.
Trico! Shouting in her face.
Yeah, Maria, who is still
Come
up
on.
against the pillar, is like, "Did you hear? She's not deaf anymore."
Splendid. Trico, come over here. Please.
Yes, mistress. Hey, she doesn't know. She doesn't know.
Stings slightly.
Wait, what?
That stings slightly, following the revelation.
Minor sucker
Yeah,
punch.
Chaika wouldn't know. Chaika wouldn't know.
I know.
Minor sucker.
Ouch.
Or would she?
Like just a love tap in the feels.
All right, hold on. I pick up Vark's bag because it's still here. What do you need? Oh,
I
use your
require
bag
your-
back, by the way.
Ah, wonderful, thank you. Leave it here right now.
Oh, okay. What do you need?
You are quite capable when it comes to artisanry, correct?
Yes, I'm the daughter of a blacksmith. What do you need?
I don't know how to word this without sounding weird, so I will not
Just
attempt to do so. I need someone with delicate fingers and a good eye for detail.
An eyebrow raises. Okay.
You hear
It's
Siren chuckle in the corner.
I call zap. 1d3
I
electric
can't
damage.
zap.
I resisted.
I know.
it's easier to understand if I show you.
Alright, lead the way.
Yes. I step onto the platform.
I, not being a dumbass, take off my handy haversack.
Hey,
But the dunce cap.
Yeah, imagine this whole really tense scene. Chaco appears downstairs with a dunce cap on.
yes.
And
It takes
yeah, go on.
barely a nudge of will for the magical circle to light up
Could I have done this to get downstairs? Yes, I could. Admittedly.
Yes, you could.
First things first. I'm very taken back by what I see.
It is a
What
disaster.
the hell? Or
No,
what
that
would be the
will
equivalent to?
no, there's
I
a-
will explain at a later time. I promise.
All right,
For
fine.
now, please follow me. There's this construct here.
Construct.
Oh, good. Against.
Another one, and immediately.
Hello, guest. Welcome in. Do not go. Do not approach too close to the shadow stuff. It is highly corrosive. I will say.
Real shame.
Jaco, do you have dark vision?
Actually, do I?
I think
I have-
Kitsune
I
has
have-
dark vision.
I have low light vision.
Normally, the light crystals in the back half of the cavern would be enough in this place, but in actuality, with the crystals at the forefront shedding shadow, you are treading into. It's like walking from day to night. It is very dark. However, the light of the crystal in its chest does, at the very least, illuminate it to a degree that you can regard the destroyed body of the golem.
Counter argument. I cast light.
Hey.
Right up.
Oh, I was very interested in the greeter golem downstairs. Now there's this. What? Before I get distracted again, what is it you need?
We need to remove this very delicate piece of gemwork from its core. It acts as a replica, a facsimile of a brain,
Hmm.
and his body is shutting down. The hope is that I will eventually be able to transfer its mind, so to speak, into a new body. But for now, it needs to be removed from this shell.
Shutting down, you say? Okay.
Even the high resilience of adamantine cannot resist contrary physics. Shadow stuff is
Okay.
innately anathema to the material plane.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Let's see what this is. Well, I would like to craft a spell check, spell craft, because that would make the most sense to see what I can get from looking at this crystal, because
With that check, you are able to both assess and disconnect the crystal with, I won't say ease, because it is tense. You feel yourself sweating bullets.
I was going to cast additional spells up with the potential check to actually remove it, but alright, what do you think?
Well, I mean,
Pop off.
was that only to assess it?
Yeah, that was my main goal, was to assess what it
So
was.
that's not the removal. Okay.
Yes. Because my next question following that was going to be, could I use a spellcraft to remove it instead of an
The spell is a two-part process: disconnection and then removal. Disconnecting requires spellcraft. Removal requires sleight of hand. Or something comparable that allows you to extract it with delicacy, because you don't want it to bump anything on the inside, damage some of the very fragile crystals, and you also don't want to squeeze it too hard, because that might also damage it. Basically, the magical artisanry of the equivalent to not flattening the pins.
Yeah.
Somebody go back up and get the cat boy.
Yeah.
So, looking at this is you've seen some magical things, both by yourself and by other people. The fineness of the work on this crystal, technically crystals because it is an interconnected lattice of different crystals, is, quite frankly, it makes things like the belt you made for Karia look like child's play. There's exactness and fineness of detail that previously it can only be done with some of the most precise tools possible. It must be something like a couple thousand wafer-thin crystals stacked and arranged with thin strands of gem connecting, creating threads that interconnect the different layers, create a almost foam-like structure that contains a mold. At the very least, perhaps the closest someone could get to making one visual, without the direct implantation of a soul or through things like awakening magic. It's maybe the closest anybody's ever. Like you had that Golem manual from before, advised you in the basic methods of creating artificial life. This is quite possibly the closest anybody has ever gotten to creating a truly intelligent golem.
Alright, so first and foremost, Chaiko is in complete and utter awe at what she's seeing. Because one, from what, just the delicacy, the understanding of the delicacy that's needed to produce something like this in and of itself is amazing in its own right. And the fact what it does, and presumably how it's crafted, is also... If the situation wasn't tense, she would be... Praise be Lydia, the golem craftsman that she was. But now's not that time. So... She's here for a job, and she's going to do her best what she can do.
So, if you want to first disconnect it, sever the connections between the crystal and the body itself that require spellcraft. And then, in order to then extract it, require some other method. Whatever you might pitch, the default would probably be sleight of hand.
Okay. So the crystal's disconnected right now, right?
No. It's completely disconnected.
Okay. So then it's a three-part step.
You have assessed it.
Well,
now you need to disconnect it.
Alrighty. So for this bit, I would like to use two of my arcane pool to switch two spells. Let's get rid of one of these, and then I will pull up my spell book, take one of these, then get rid of this because how I do my things. Get one of these, and then I have something I have to ask you, Mr. DM. I would like to use Fox's Cunning. This gives me a temporary +4 enhancement to intelligence rolls. Actually, no. Anyway, no, to intelligence in itself and the applying rolls. It says it needs either hair or dung of a fox. That's what I was gonna ask. Okay.
I think it's
so.
Don't you have an arcane focus for Ospergasm Pouch?
I don't think so, actually, because I don't think those were mentioned at one point. All my souls don't require components anyways because of that. Anyways, anyway, either which way, so yeah. You at some point, Vark, see Chico turn into a fox, bite her own fur, tear it off. And I cast 2 spells. Crafter's Fortune,
Jacko
which
just
gives me a
transferred
plus.
bald spot.
Don't. Anyways, Fox's Cunning, which gives me a +4 to intelligence, right? +4 to intelligence out of yep. Then intelligence at a temp +4, so that becomes 6 right now.
What
Uh,
precisely are you trying to buff here? Just
Yeah.
so I'm aware.
Spellcraft, so I can remove the thing as beautifully as possible. Not remove, disconnect it. I know this is very tedious work, so I'm doing what I can to buff the most I can.
Okay.
Then really wish I would have gotten something for this, but I can't cast
Almost.
visualization. I can't cast visualization of the mind because that requires a soothing incense worth 200 gold, and I definitely didn't buy one of those. I doubt there's anything about that line nearby, especially in this area, and even if it was, it's probably tainted. So that's a no-go. Anything else I could do real quick? Hating gaze.
Let's say there
No.
was a cabinet up in the lab full of spell ingredients.
Well, I mean, I didn't get much chance to explore this place, so I wouldn't know that. Or Checo wouldn't.
Let me check my spells really quick.
Anything else to help me out?
Yes.
You want this done as best you can.
I'm going to hand Chico first my what's it called? My extract of Here's to wine. My god. Here's to wine.
Oh, what does that do? Drink the meter. So another +2 intelligence?
Unfortunately, that wouldn't stack because it's an enhancement bonus.
Ah,
Damn.
true. Okay. In that case, however, now let me check one thing about the investigator really quick. Because different from other casters, yeah, I can just if I don't fill up a spell slot, I can just make extracts later to fill them up. It takes a minute. So while Chico is doing her little ritual to cast and prepare her spells, I'm going to prepare an extract of Investigative Mind. Now, this wasn't in the compendium for Roll20, so I couldn't yet add it to my sheet. But I did buy the scroll of it back in Lorbus, if you remember.
If you can, link it in the book.
And I added it to my spellbook. What Investigative Mind does is that the next time the person that consumes or casts a spell on themselves attempts an appraise, knowledge, linguistics, or spellcraft check, they basically gain 5e advantage. Roll twice the better result.
Oh.
It's a one use, mind you.
Yeah. So
Actually, no. No. The spell is discharged once you have used its benefit a number of times equal to your caster level.
Oh,
So you
oh,
get 6 uses of it.
does that mean I get? Wait, does that mean I get 7 rolls? That doesn't sound right.
No. What it means is anytime you make the roll, you can roll twice and take the better.
Okay.
Not that you consume
So-
a charge to get an extra roll.
Okay.
It's a fine different thing. So,
Yeah, that's why I was asking, making sure. So for right now, if I did you give me that potion?
Yes.
Or extract.
once I basically finish brewing it.
Alrighty.
as you
Well,
finish
what-
your preparations and casting your spells, Vark hands you a flask filled with
The
wine.
deep
All right.
purple.
I look I see this and what is this? Alcohol doesn't help me work better.
Will help you keep a clearer mind. Focus better. You might.
Fine.
You might even call it clairvoyance in a way.
Ah,
avoid mistakes.
magical, right. Magical, right. Alright. Take the extract, and I get 2 rolls. And a
yes.
1. Okay. And a 2. God, why?
And because of how well you rolled on your assessment, a situational +4.
May I also assist?
Oh wait, I didn't wait, hold on, I didn't add my +5 due to Crafter's Fortune. +5 on next oh, that's a craft skill. Whoopsies. I didn't read that. That was on me. I'm an idiot.
It technically would not apply now.
Yeah, cause I spell craft. I just that was on me.
Okay. Still, with the assistance from Vark, giving a +2, that comes up to a total of 31. As you go about neatly severing the hundreds of connections, that the arm which is gone, the one that's still there, the legs, the head, various other functions that you can only begin to wrap your head around without actually disassembling and looking at the body. There's veins of mithril and adamantine or calcum and all kinds of metals and crystals and minerals that went into making this thing, as well as what seems to be glass vials and pieces of inscribed slate, and you think there might even be something scroll tube in there somewhere.
Oh, what in there?
A scroll tube.
Oh, scroll tube. Okay.
It's all of this went into making a functional, operational, highly resilient and dependable construct. It's no wonder that whatever this was, it was hidden away in this basement. Someone figured out how she made these. It would change. It would be exorbitantly expensive to make. If someone had the resources, this could change Goldcraft forever. As you finally disconnected the golem just before you hit the last few connections, I have one suggestion for when you remove the crystal.
Yes, what is it?
Suggest the use of Mage Hand.
Funny enough, that was what I was going to ask next.
The crystal itself weighs barely 200 grams. A Mage Hand would avoid any sort of dirt or smudge or other detritus getting into the lattice.
You're right.
Selfish request.
No. Before I cut the last thing, before I cut the last connection, I go soft and say, "Don't worry, I'll do what I can to save you. I won't let someone else pay. I won't let something like you perish. It's not right. Cut.
Gentleness is up. The light in his eye goes out. Also, bloody hello, Grim. Welcome in. Sorry, I was looking at my my OBS. Thank you for the self care. I'm pretty sure at least a couple people in this group need it right now.
And of course, Mage Hand afterwards.
And now we get to.
What do I gotta roll you?
That's up to you. I would default to sleight of hand, but if there's something else you think would be fitting.
What was the roll itself? Because I didn't hear that part. I had to roll what next?
I would say by default, sleight of hand.
Before that. What? Yeah, he said like what's next? I think you said moving it or
Removing it.
removing it. Okay. I would love to use spellcraft. I truly would, but it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't apply to gently removing something.
The only reason I could potentially say that it could is due to the fact that I'm not touching it. I'm using magic for it, which Mage Hand.
Do you think you could maybe use one of your craft skills?
Craft Weapons ain't gonna help me here, Chief.
What
I
about a
mean-
knowledge arcana?
Knowledge Arcana could. I was going to secondly suggest use magic item. That doesn't really make much sense either, realistically thinking about it though. So
I'd say
Just
This-
go in with the intention of making it into a belt, and
This-
that'll help you.
This situation calls for dexterity and a gentle touch.
yeah, something
Knowledge
that
isn't going to do very much.
something that my
You'll
dex
benefit
isn't
from
that
that
great
plus
for.
4 from your assessment.
I wasn't joking. I wasn't joking when I said you should probably go get flick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can keep it here. I really don't trust myself for moving it, but I can at least prevent it from falling anywhere.
I could give people like enhancement bonus. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't.
Yeah, not here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do have
I was
guidance.
going to say next. Vark, I did what I could. And that's where the area of my expertise ends. So I recommend finding someone else to actually remove this bit. I think maybe Flick. You have pretty dexterous hands too, if you trust in yourself with this. I've seen what you've done with that rapier.
Not right now, no. I don't trust myself with this. I'm going to find Flick. Well, I know where he is. I'm going to get him.
Like, I need you for open heart surgery on a robot.
Yep.
Imagine Flick just comes up, he's just chilling. Kari is climbing out of the bath looking for his clothes, and he's like,
As-
"Flick, I need you for surgery."
As Vark goes, I have a question real quick. This is an idea as he's already leaving. As I say that, could Unseen Servant help me? It's kind of like a floating hand, but then again, as I'm reading it, it can't perform any. Never mind, can't perform any task with a skill check of a DC higher than 10. Never mind. Never mind.
They're meant to be made for the most basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step onto the platform and I'm just gonna try it out. I'm going to mentally speak order laboratory.
Hmm. The portal seems to hesitate for a moment as if asking, "Are you sure?" Asking for confirmation, basically.
I know I know what's going to happen, and yes, I am sure.
Splish splash. Vark now joins you in the bath.
Whee! Splash!
So,
Whee!
so Ko, you don't mind if I? Oh shit!
by ears immediately bolting out of the tub. Just that.
Well,
At least I got a bit of a taste of the bath as he kind of like shakes off some like the water splashed onto him.
Hello, everyone.
How are this?
Standing in the top.
Yeah. I would question how you got into the bath, but then this is a magic tower, so I'm not even gonna.
Yes, exactly. I'm terribly sorry to crash the party. Flick, I require your help with something. Would you mind stepping into this tub with me?
Flick takes a look in the tub, takes a look at Karia, looks over.
I will be leaving. Vair, please give them some privacy. I believe that something has been going on, and I have not been keen to it due to my.
Is something the matter, Vark?
I require you to do open heart surgery on a golem.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, we're going to leave now, Vair. I don't believe that I don't believe it's worn off yet.
What?
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, I
yeah,
don't
is
know,
this
I don't
code for
want-
something? I mean, I'm not really sure if you've ever been.
I am open for questioning later. The short version of it is I have a very delicate work of artisanry in the basement of this tower, from which I need the core removed, which turned out to be a very delicate and very difficult piece of work.
Yes,
Shaiko and I have managed to disconnect it from its chassis, but removing it is an entirely different thing.
Days like
So it's not
these,
a
I sometimes days like these, I really do wonder if I should have been a clocksmith or something, or watchmaker.
Well, if people stop hunting you and hunting you down for being a criminal, then perhaps.
There's a bitter
No,
murmuring.
it's not quite.
A bitter murmuring coming from everyone thinks it puts me in a rubber body, but gives the fucking metal gives the junk heap downstairs a heart. I see how it is.
Fine. And Flick steps into the bath with Vark, just kind of stands in front and says, "All right, take me to this golem. Time to perform surgery on a machine."
Gonna look down to the robot duck really quick. If all goes well, and we come out of this smarter for it, perhaps we'll be able to come up with a way to transfer you to a new body as well.
I'm sorry, what?
He's talking to the duck.
to the duck. Not you.
Yeah,
Oh.
not Flick.
I got confused.
We
I'm
have-
sorry.
we have-
I'm sorry.
we
Wait.
have the
I'm sorry,
technology.
wait,
We too could
Well,
do
well, no.
brain
I guess
transplant on the
Flick. I
cat.
guess Flick is also. I guess Flick is also equally surprised. Like, wait, the duck was in a different body?
So
It's not just a sentient duck.
now, numbskull, do I look like I have actual wings?
I mean, it kind of looks sculpted onto you, don't you
Yeah,
think?
because I'm made of rubber, dumbass. Tell you, I can
Just an observation.
I can tell. Yeah,
I
can
know
tell-
you don't have wings. I'm being a smartass.
You know, I thought that I was hallucinating that. I'm more gravely concerned that I wasn't.
Yes, yes.
Well,
they-
now I can probably be concerned that's a group hallucination. Well, not to. Oh Jesus.
I'm the one that's supposed to be having a mental breakdown right now.
We
And
can discuss this at length later.
What just picks up the duck with his finger and thumb, just holds up to the face, says, "Complain later. For now, I'm off to surgery," and puts it back in the bath.
And mental command basement.
Wait, but you're still on the top. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god!
the tub gets ported as well. Lands on the ground.
He doesn't even have to get out.
You're lucky I'm holding this fucker with mage hand.
as The three of you teleport down into the basement, followed by a large portion of water that then splashes down on top of your heads.
At
As
least I'm
well,
getting the early bath.
The three of you are drenched.
Flick,
I look over. I need to get a bath too. Hurry up.
Flick just waves over to Chaiko and says, "Alright, doctor, how is the surgery going?"
Surgery. I removed it. I just need. I disconnected the thing. The golem's the golem's crystal or core. Maybe the core. Or,
The brain,
Um,
basic.
yeah, I guess. I removed the brain. I just
Also,
can't
I
move
feel
it dexterously.
one thing that may be slightly distracting is that there is no a naked Karya standing there on the fence.
Yeah, alright.
Honestly, not the most distracting thing.
Yeah, this happens quite a bit.
I
Uh,
disagree.
Okay.
Oh my
You
God.
have a propensity for showing up nude in places.
Since
I-
I've been
I-
Look
I am
at
aware
you.
the place is in horrible disarray. Please do not mind it. Or go anywhere near it. It is highly
I
corrosive.
was not planning on it. Don't worry. It looks rather disconcerting. No worries.
Yes.
All right.
With it,
So
with only Chico's light to go by, considering the state of this place and how dark it is on this side, you see that there is a delicate, spongy-looking crystal now being held up by, in this place, just statically in place, by an unseen force, presumably one projected by Chico.
now,
Okay.
before we move this, Vark, where are we putting this?
Yes, walk me through this. What are we doing?
You do have a container for this, right, Vark?
I do, yes. And he takes out the container containing the horologe. And he takes a compass out and, well, holds the open container with the velvet bedding out towards Shaiko and Flick. As he actually does step closer. Sorry, I should move over the map.
Yeah, I would say, please come closer. We are not coming to you with this. Alright.
Especially now that it's soaking wet on the fucking floor halfway over here, considering all the fucking water spilled out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Flick was already aiming to take a bath, so he at least has the initial bit of it done with.
You gotta
Shower.
head start.
Yeah, I need... 3 people downstairs need to as well.
Yes.
Anyways, alright. Alright. You ready for this, Flick?
One golem brain transplant coming right up.
I'm gonna assist as well.
Vark. Yeah, I would say, Vark, do you have anything else to help with him? That wine, does it work on him?
Let me consult my spell slots, but probably not.
Intelligence and wisdom-based skill checks.
It was only intelligence-based spell checks? Or, checks?
Yeah, the wine is only good for intelligence and wisdom-based skill checks.
Ooh. Is there any way I can help, considering the fact that I'm essentially suspending this thing in the air with Mage Hand?
I hand Flick a bubbling green potion. It looks like someone had melted an emerald. It's
Uh-oh.
slightly fizzing. Drink
So,
this.
I would like
And
to
think-
mention.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. That at this point, Vark, all he has done since we've gotten here is screamed, cried, stole Chico, gave her drugs in the form of magic, then said, "I'm gonna go get the other one," got Flick, gave him drugs, and now they're performing open heart surgery on a golem.
We
Listen,
are
the shit
performing
is hard.
surgery on a grape.
We're in the underground meth lab here, and fucking.
Okay.
But yes, carry on, please.
Drink this flick and think of a raccoon. No other animal, a raccoon.
Flick is just going to give Vark a strange side eye, not a like suspicious side eye, but like a very, very, just a very odd side eye.
A very,
Over
I
the
think he's
years.
gone crazy.
Takes a deep breath with the claw on his thumb, pops the top of it, motions over the Vark, says, "Well, down the hatch," and you drink it.
Animal aspect.
Yeah.
We're looking for the raccoon entry, as you might have guessed.
Plus
That's
2.
become extremely dexterous, and your feet become padded. You gain a +2 competence bonus on disabled device, sleight of hand, and stealth checks.
Wait, weren't his feet already padded?
Yes,
Yeah,
Probably.
cause I'm a cat.
They're double padded now.
They're extra
Double
padded.
they are
padding.
very comfy feet. So, any
Think of a
last-
raccoon, not a gorilla. Think of a raccoon.
Oh no! Don't
I
think
am
about a
thinking
gorilla.
of.
Don't think about raptors. I know you love
Don't-
dinosaurs. Don't think of dinosaurs.
Don't think of a kangaroo.
Yeah.
So,
Flick just starts bouncing for no reason.
any other spells or assistance you would like to provide?
Right. Well, besides my spell being offered, I'm also gonna assist in the normal way.
Anyways,
Can
I
multiple
can.
people assist on something like
I mean,
that?
do you have
Because
I know you casted Fox's Cunning on yourself. Do you have the dexterity version of that?
Unfortunately, no, because that's funny enough, I'm pretty sure a cleric version, a cleric exclusive.
Hmm.
I think, if I recall correctly.
Right, yeah. Fox's Cunning is a racial one, isn't it?
No, it's a arcane one. For some reason, of all the animal of blank spells, most of them are arcane. I know 1 to 2 of them are or not oracle based.
Cat's Grace
Hol-
is available to sorcerers and
Divine.
wizards.
So yeah, divine. Divine. I don't have cat's
Yes.
grace, but
Cat's Grace is an arcane spell.
but of those types of spells, I know one of them. I think is an divine spell. So, anyways, yeah, I don't have that. And the only thing I can really offer is the fact that I have Mage Hand, but even then, I'm just holding it in place essentially. So,
It's more
I
or less
mean,
just a safety measure to make sure it doesn't drop.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like I'm here, but I'm pretty sure I'm useless in a
Yeah.
delicate situation. But
What?
Yeah.
weirdly enough, I do have knowledge arcana. if anything, but
Unfortunately, you
that's
are in a
about it. Or
early practical
spellcraft.
stage of it. So,
Yeah, no.
I can't
Well-
do anything. I'm just gonna sit there and go. Think of it as a very expensive flask of
I'll take
anything.
you can
a
you can assist with your own sleight of hand roll, which will add an additional +2 to Flick's it. It gets
Alright.
over 10.
I have a
I'll
plus
take a
8.
step back. I'll take a step back so Vark and Flick can get closer to each other, so there's less. You have to
Yeah.
move.
It is a very very cramped space for to have 2 or 3 people fiddling around instead of a robot's chest.
Yeah, because at this point, I mean, I've done my thing. I'm literally just holding it in the air, and I have my mage hand is decently long range, so I can honestly back up even farther.
Flick with
All right.
Shaiko, instruction and assistance, and Vark's manual help. I would like you to make me a sleight of hand check with the +2 from animal aspect and a +4 due to Shaiko's instruction, and the additional +2 Vark for a total of +8 to your roll.
On top of the plus 8 I already have for my sleight of hand.
Yes.
So you're rolling at a plus 16.
Drunken sailor, what will we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning?
Please don't sing about being intoxicated right now.
Okay, so that's only 1/8, so that total should come up to 27.
Yes. Blink definitely makes me think of the kind of person who would hum to himself under his breath while,
Yeah.
well, equally while either breaking into a place or while operating in somebody's chest.
How did you find me? Well, we followed the music.
Turns out you got pretty good pipes when it comes to singing. I'm still standing.
As
But
I'm still stealing.
hums a little shanty to himself. That helps to steal your nerves. Just a little, or to calm you down a little bit and to reduce what were previously minute tremors in your fingers and your wrists. As you use one hand to steady the side, and one hand to cup underneath, and then straight of a line as you can. It's a little bit weird given the slight slant to the golem's body, which makes just pulling it out not quite so simple. Gently slide it out of its housing. Very nearly one bit of twisted chassis, which, if you hadn't noticed it, just peeking out, obscured by the darkness, only barely catching the glint from Chiniko's light. You stop, deep breath, and then skew the crystal just a little bit to as much as the narrow housing would allow to slide it free, and it is out.
Hey, up she rises, hey, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises early in the morning.
Still humming and singing under your breath, gently place it with a thumb. Part surgery complete.
It's that scene from Doctor Strange where he performs the brain surgery without the tools. He just peeled for the bullet.
Alternatively, had you rolled lower, it would have been the Mr. Bean episode where he just reaches into the guy's chest and yanks the bullet out.
oh no.
He does a Mortal
I'm
Kombat
Bean.
fatality on him.
I'm reflecting back to Genesis while everybody was like, let's experiment on the amalgamation with 30-year-old outdated equipment. Fucking
Also, a question for the DM. I have my sleeves of many garments on still because I just have it on. I'm damn near almost always. Can I take those off and just toss them into Karia for right now?
Let me check something.
It's if you check my inventory, it's in there in my inventory in gear section.
Yes.
It-
Check something real. Sleeves of many garments requires there to already be clothing of the person to transform.
Yeah. Well, can't cover that up for a little bit. Oh well.
Yes.
Isn't one skin really clothing? I'm kidding. I'm not gonna argue clothing
Do you
semantics.
want that to be what happens?
No.
You know what
Looks
that
to-
implies, yes? If I allow
Looks
that
to
to be an
Vark, let's
interpretation.
not.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is see Karia turn into a hacky sack doll.
No, please.
Sorry,
Hell
no,
yeah,
what
just
were they?
came
What were
back.
they? What's the up there? Yes, sackcloth. That's it.
Stuck with for the little like mascot from PlayStation. That
Yeah,
boy.
little big planet.
Yep. Little Bicaria.
Yeah.
Little big Karia. Little big Karia. Yes,
Adorable.
yes. Looking at Karia, you see little and big.
Now
Okay.
I'm just thinking of Sackboy Karya.
My next question.
Moving
point-
on.
Yeah,
I've just
to put
realized
the-
how that
to
came
put
out.
the-
God damn it!
Putting the train back onto the track.
Before
We
it
never left
derails
the
again.
fucking station,
yeah,
man.
it's a train, all right.
Yeah.
Siri, we will
Get
not be
off
running a
kilter.
train.
Vark. I know I promised to put him to keep him alive and fix him. But do you have any idea or anything I could even put him in? This stuff's complex. I don't know. I haven't made any.
I'm going to very carefully close the lid of the container. And once that thing clicks together and I pass the locks, I'm just going to point towards the golem standing at the wall in the back. The unfinished.
Da, 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 da. Oh boy, here I go doing my favorite things. Spellcraft checks.
I should mention I don't expect you to do this now. I just needed this removed from the decaying chassis. But if
fair enough.
there
It's
ever
still
is a
great.
body present, then it would be that one.
Alright, it's still a good idea at least for me to at least look at what I could be working with.
Well, can't you
Get an
salvage
understanding.
something? There are 2 dead ones that were working. Can't you inspect those and get a feel for it?
Yes, I will. Give me a moment. And let me see let me look at this all real quick. Visualization of the mind. How long does that last for? I think it's a minute per
Investigative
level.
mind?
Yeah. Well, I guess investigative mind is one.
10
How long
minutes
does that
per
last?
level, so you're good. 10 minutes
Oh,
per
yeah.
level, 1 total
And
strategy,
then-
so you're good.
Yeah, and then Fox's cunning. It lasts a minute a level. We're level 6 currently, so that's 6 minutes. Yeah, I got time. So 1. I have the charges. Might as well use them, right? For the advantage essentially, right?
Say it again.
I have the charges of advantage thanks to your potion, right? So might as
Yeah.
well use them. How many do I get?
Nope. Well, you have 5 more.
Okay. So this reduces it to 4. So 31 for to see what the new golem body looks like, to see what I can understand of it.
Okay. The golem that stands before you is less sleek than the ones that lie shattered on the ground. This one is obviously not complete. Not just by the fact that it doesn't have a heart yet, but it's missing some key inner components when you peel back the chest plate. Some of those vein-like connectors within the limbs, the headpiece, it's missing its ocular pieces, the substitutes for eyes that it would have. The right arm still needs finishing on the plating. There's still some stuff that needs doing, and given the metal alloy that was used for making this thing, it's not going to be cheap. But also, the in the chest where the heart would sit also needs to be finished. Some connectors need building, and the actual sheath where the memory lattice would slide into needs to be finished. This thing
Okay.
it's possibly the work of even years of painstaking work. Still not done.
All right. Then I go to the other one, and I would like to examine this one as well. It's broken, I'm aware, but
It's in
the more similarities I can see, the better.
this one is even just on surface examination considerably worse off than the other one is. This is barely held together in any sense. It's shattered, it's blown to pieces. The memory crystal in its chest has ruptured long since. The alloys are dissolving, crumbling into sand. There's nothing.
Not even. I can't even look at what is essentially the housing component, and seeing.
That was one of the most delicate parts of the long since decayed away.
All right. So back to this one.
With a
Now that the
functional example here, you could make some notes and potentially use this as an example to go by.
exactly that was my plan, because the fact now that the crystal, the heart is essentially gone, I can now look what it was being held in the holding component essentially, and I can at least get an idea of what the housing component actually looks like.
Yeah.
Hell, I doubt it. I flat out just won't. I know this won't happen, but I could, in Tycho's mind, potentially take out whatever this holding apparatus is and theoretically put it inside the other golem. It won't happen, I'm aware, but it's something. It's exactly. It's an idea. So, funk. Another 31. And that.
Another 23.
Okay. What are the odds?
31. You can potentially remove this, and would you like to? Because this is
You know,
nowhere near
yeah.
as delicate as
well,
the
hold on.
brain was.
Hold on. Vark, may I? I'm asking your permission because this is very clearly something important to you. May I attempt to disassemble this so I can get an idea on how to potentially create a new home for him, a new body?
It would break down sooner than later, anyhow. So, if you can glean anything from it, go ahead.
All right. Thank you.
Are you going to need any more of my help in this matter, or are you set?
That would be all, I believe.
Flick's assistance would be quite helpful in this,
Of
mostly
course.
because there's lots of fiddly
It could.
and screws.
Yeah, there's lots of.
In dismantling the
Yeah.
robot, absolutely.
So with
I'll be
the-
honest, I went into this with a bit of nervousness, but after that, I think it was a little bit exciting, actually.
At this point, I'm not going to be requiring any further rules.
All right, so yeah.
As a cooperative effort, you start pulling pieces out of the inner workings of the golem to examine. At some point, you might have stepped over the threshold back into the light, and you would notice the alloy, rather than just being darkened by the shadow that you were standing in. When you bring it into the bright light of the crystals, there's a very immediately visible difference in the hue of that metal to the kind that's on the golem standing awaiting construction. Just, it looks like it's constantly cast in shadow. Just as if it was constantly standing underneath shade. Whatever
Interesting.
into this place has soaked into the metal itself. It's possibly responsible for what is caused that golem over there to break down, crumble into sand.
Okay. So I'm going to set any piece of metal that does come off. I'm just going to set it to the side in a neat pile. I'm just going to try to keep everything separated, and not just necessarily like how like some people when they build something or take something apart, they kind of put it in places so they can like easily reassemble it back together and whatnot.
Yep. I was going to make a joke about how this part of the Path episode interrupts for some Chico brand PC building.
Yeah, the
services.
Chico brand PC building kids.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Buy your
PC now.
Or for a we call it pre-build service. Or at the very least, fucking Chico being her version of Linus Tech Tips.
Hey Vark, I installed some sick RGB lights in your golem.
Can you imagine?
God.
Hey, don't even worry about it, dude. Not only did I fix it, I made him better. I put a 4080 in him, just like
And
slap.
it's using a small portal to the plane of water to water cool the entire thing.
Surgeons in Genesis, when you have to improvise a surgery, they call it flicking it.
They
Oh my
flicked it.
god.
Oh god. But yeah, I would like to whatever pieces that do come off of this golem, I would like to do my best to separate them into piles of of the same material at the bare minimum.
Okay, so you've got to make sure to neatly set them aside to sort them based on like relative position and what belongs near what.
Yep.
Yeah, eventually, with painstaking effort, you're able to disassemble and then compile notes on and sketches for posterity for later use. So that one day, hopefully, once you get your hand on the materials, and it's going to take quite a few precious, possibly even magical metals. Something to mention is a pretty damn good thing. Your friends with the town built for
To
prospecting.
say, hey,
debts.
guess what magical metals we might be able to. Speaking of, when we're done with this, I need to send a fucking letter to Stanislav, but that's whatever.
Yes. You're going to have to source magical and precious metals for this. You're also going to have to source a lot of gems and magically reactive crystals. And that's like surface level. It's also probably going to require a lot of reverse engineering and hopefully help from any sort of notes that the DMV have left behind.
Yep.
Because this is a lifetime
complex.
Perfected.
Yeah, it's funny. Like it's like how do I want to? What's a good comparison? What would be a good example? A good comparison? It's like right now I'm little Timmy learning how to ride a scooter, looking at what Tony Hawk can do. I don't know. That's like the best. That's like the best comparison I can come up with.
I don't know why you said scooter with him, but you could have said skateboard.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean.
No, I get what you mean. You are comparing yourself as an amateur watching a master's.
Yeah. So there's like very limited things I can look at and see like, oh.
This is when you've not even firmly dipped your toes into the construct crafting world. Though honestly, of anything, I would think this might potentially awake that that interest in Chico.
It has. It for sure has, especially considering the fact that a lot of these, by looking at these, give a very odd sense of familiarity.
Yes. The arts are set aside and neatly categorized. There are a couple times where you pull something off and a piece of it, under even just a slight amount of pressure, crumbles under your touch. Having not been disturbed for so long, only held together by virtue of holding perfectly still. So some of the pieces don't survive the disassembly. How delicate you are. But you are able to get a decent picture of all the things to construct that would be most materially demanding, but technically not, is the outer exoskeleton. Will probably be the simplest thing to recreate. Though it's still not going to be easy.
Yeah.
The internal mechanisms, thankfully, were mostly shielded from whatever explosion happened here, but have suffered. Thankfully, though, we're able to get an idea of some of the more important bits. You get the feeling that it's like you don't necessarily need to one-for-one recreate everything on the inside. You just need to figure out what is required to connect the brain up to the body and make all the different pieces work. You can take it from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just need to know how to learn. I need to understand how to get the bare minimum. How I can get into a body that can withstand it and move. Then we can, tough it up later if really we want to.
The most sensible action, not necessarily the easiest, but the most sensible action, would be to learn how to golem craft rather than just try and ape what Lydia did. Because you could
Yeah,
potentially
that sounds about
try
right.
and recreate it, but all you would be doing would be trying to recreate it based off of appearances, not off of any sort of understanding, which may result in issues down the line. So yeah, I will say you've got a collection of notes on the internal workings of this intelligence. Yeah, that little mini chapter successfully. Congratulations.
Woo!
Level up. No, I'm kidding.
Imagine.
Is there anything else people would like to do here in the base? Because I don't envision there's very much here that people would otherwise be dwelling.
A quick precursory glance at essentially everything else. Just doesn't need to be anything detailed. Just I'm moving my token so you can.
I mean, yeah, I was actually gonna go ahead and assume that while they were doing something, I was probably doing that because fucking I couldn't do anything else.
Oh, yeah, you would see everything.
And then
Vark said, you see herbalism bench, drawing board and drawing and planning board. There was woodworking / maybe burning section. A barrel full of now darkened water. And then 2 display cases and a crystal ball. Inside one of the display cases,
What's-
some sort of small fey creature, and the second display case is a lemon.
A lemon.
Very dumb question. I know is not going to end. I know is going to leave me sad. How heavy does this thing seem?
Extremely so.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Adamantine alloy is not light. Even
Wait a minute.
Even when
Wait,
even when worked into an alloy, it's still fucking heavy.
Wait, to confirm, the golem is made out of adamantine.
Among many other things. It's not
Okay,
pure.
I'm gonna.
We're
Okay,
not melting
alright.
the fucking thing down to make a sword out of it.
God damn it. Listen, we needed a
What?
place to get adamantine. All I'm saying is that there's 2 broken ones. It could work, you know. It could just ship them back.
Oh, sure. You want to make it out of the broken robots? Absolutely, sure.
Remember, as soon as you touch that stuff, it turns to sand. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
I'll
anyways,
let sand.
I was talking about the unfinished one in the bottom leftish corner.
Fucking heavy. Ridiculously so.
So I could melt that one.
Going off of what little you know, having not actually worked with adamantium at any point, I would believe, considering both the scarcity and how expensive it can be, it's thought that adamantium is. There's a lot of rumors about it. It's a very mythicized metal. But the raw ore is both highly resilient, extremely resistant to heat, magically disperses magic upon contact, has to be worked into an alloy in order for it to be feasibly used by any living creature, but also so that it can actually be worked and shaped, because otherwise.
Okay.
Once adamantium sets, it's pure adamantium never moves again. Something ridiculously hot.
So can I dig around here to try and find anything?
What are you looking for? Is what I should ask.
Any pieces of adamantine that I can find that have been left over.
Congrats, you found a single file shaving.
You misunderstand how that I could make a quick buck off of that. I don't care about the money. I have a sword waiting to be made.
No, you do not. There's no pieces of adamantium lying around. there is a reason for it, and I'm not just saying it to be mean. There is nothing here of much value besides things that are already worked into a project. There's no
Yeah, I figure
extra
so.
pieces lying around. The best surmisal you could possibly make is that the reason she didn't finish the golem before summoning Vark, and he hasn't even filled you in on that yet. The reason that she never finished this thing is because she ran out of materials, possibly even.
Well, so we sell. No, it's okay. All good.
What I was going to suggest next is there any way could we get Greeter Golem in here? I want to at least move this incomplete golem out of this area, because I don't know what this stuff is, but due to my experiences with the corruption that Karya has, I'm very hesitant about leaving anything near anything that looks corruption-y.
Hmm.
I at least
Wait,
want to.
I may have missed that part about it looking corrupted. Did I miss that?
Well, I mean,
No, the area you're in on the map.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at that.
Yeah, it is pretty fucked up.
let's say roll me a knowledge.
Yeah, I was about to say because I could I make a roll to it because I would just
Potentially.
surmise it's shadow stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think that yeah I can try
Yeah,
I have
points.
knowledge. I don't really have that. I have Arcana and Geography. I'm more so checking to see if it's related to the deep, if that's what they might be worried
Yeah,
That
about.
would be for you.
No,
That would be
no.
an intuition-based thing, and I would say purely off of your own intuition, feels nothing.
That's what I suspected.
Yeah. Me, the guy behind, the person behind Chaco. I know it's not, but from Chaco's perspective, it looks close enough. I don't want to. She doesn't want to risk it. She just get it. I don't care if it is safe. I don't trust it, considering the fact that I've seen what it does, what it's done to the other golems in
With
here.
what limited knowledge you have about different planes, specifically the already limited knowledge about the plane of shadow, you know that most things summoned from the plane of shadow tend to be antithetical to life. Just generally stuff on the material plane. They don't tend to coexist very well. However, looking at things here, the blast marks end right about where the darkness does. It doesn't. Whatever tear in the fabric of space let this shadow through was stemmed a long time ago and is no longer encroaching. It's like an oil stain, and all of the oil has been soaked up by the ground.
Fine, I won't try to get Greeter Golem to move it into the tower.
Yeah, to confirm, that golem is what we are housing the Vark's not dad in, correct? The incomplete.
No,
That is the intention.
no, not yet. Intention, not yet.
Yeah, that's the intention. Obviously,
It's
not
it's
yet.
not
You guys
ready
can't
to
do
be
it yet.
done.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is the intention. I mean, all things considered, I have a pretty decent strength. I would say.
You're not lifting it.
Is it that heavy?
Let me check something.
I only ask because I believe that I can lift about I could drag it because I can drag about 10,000 pounds. Actually 9,200, but I could lift about 3,680 pounds off the ground. The question is, would this thing be heavier to make Sully happy than a Honda Civic?
Let's see. You can. That means you can lift roughly a ton and a half.
Yeah,
US
in
ton.
total, yeah, a U.S. ton. I can let's see, because a U.S. ton is,
3,000 pounds.
no, it's 2,000 pounds. So I'm bordering on lifting 2 tons.
Bordering on lifting 2 tons. Well, if we're going to compare it to a Honda Civic,
those sit between anywhere between 2,700 and 3,000. So I can lift a Honda
Yeah.
Civic and then like
most
a
small
golf cart.
vehicles like that weigh about 1.5 to 2 tons. So yes,
Yeah, exactly.
not inaccurate. Let's see.
Like I said, to make this clear, I don't want to bring this with us. I want it away from the shadow.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I mean, if that was the case, I could probably pick it up and walk it to the other side of the room. But there's a teleporter, and if I just walk it to
Yeah.
the other side of the room, I may as well walk it the 5 more steps to the teleporter.
Yeah, then where?
Yeah, then we can just teleport to wherever Vark wants to put it. Put your future dad somewhere you'd like to keep and look at it.
The question becomes, where do you want to put it?
Genuinely, right now for safekeeping, the private chamber.
Okay. One downside to that: floors are made of wood there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my next. We would have to put it on. We would have to put it on the first floor.
The lab, or I suppose the ground floor would also work.
Mhm.
But the lab is probably better.
Uh, here we go. That's it. Math.
That's relatable. Except that
Wait.
you can't do math.
Oh man, do I gotta tell you what game we're playing?
Math and dragon.
I don't know why it's calculating your maximum capacity like that. Because that is not correct.
Yeah, that's not something I've done manually. That is something that comes on the sheet.
Um, that should be straight. Your carrying capacity, for some reason, is coming out incorrectly. Not that it overly matters very much. But next close enough.
Okay, so I pulled it up, and I actually don't think it's that far off because
Not
looking
too
at the
far.
chart,
You're
yeah,
strength of
looking at
31
the
at the
chart,
moment.
yeah,
Heavy load
which
for
is,
someone with 29 strength is 1400.
and then at 10 plus multiplies that by 4.
10 plus specifically. I think it's basically taking the difference, dividing it by 10, and then giving you that for every point over 29 you have.
That would make sense.
Oh my god. That said, it's not far off enough that I'm going to raise a massive stink about it. So, here's the thing.
It's within the same ballpark.
And you, I would say, lift off the ground is roughly almost 2 tons, which, given the square foot weight of adamantine mixed with all the other components, major saving grace is the fact that she used a mithril for a lot of the inner components. Okay, so this is going to be awkward and cumbersome because weight capacity is all well and good, but the actual ability to swing. This is the problem with the massive sword as well. Is momentum is still a thing. Inertia is still very much a thing. No matter how strong you are, nothing you do will count. This thing is about a foot taller than Karya, with no easy handles on it. Most of it is smooth metal or exposed innards, which could be damaged if you lift it by the agency. You want to lift this thing without putting it onto some sort of dolly or carriage or something like that. You would have to walk up to it, wrap your arms around its waist, and then lift it a foot off the ground.
Yeah, I was assuming it was one of those like you lift it, keep it close, and then penguin waddle your way.
Basically,
Yeah.
it would be like
Yeah.
penguin. Like, it would be like shuffle walking a fridge over.
That's precisely how I was envisioning it in the first
Me
place.
too.
I
Yep.
didn't expect to walk over and lift it with one hand above
Yeah.
my head like a waiter.
If Karya wants to
End
move this to the
goal.
teleporter, it would require a strength roll.
I can do that.
Anything else
All
you
right.
want to do while he's busy playing mover?
Come on, butt naked Karya.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Why did it not?
Yes, the feeling of cold metal.
19.
A butt naked Karya grabs the metal man around the waist and then proceeds to attempt to lift it off the ground. Succeeds for a moment, and then a couple more tries results more in looking like he is trying to rut with it.
I'm still wet.
Yes, you're
I'll
wet
come
and
back
slippery.
later.
All right,
Wet and
Kara, if you
slippery
can't,
and
if
naked.
you can't move it now, just don't. It's better if you don't damage it. Just leave it here for now. It should be
Yes,
fine.
It's not going anywhere. I can probably waddle it out of the dark, and I'll come back later if you're really concerned.
Just that what's that gachi meat? So yes, unfortunately, hands and arms are still kind of glistening wet, butt naked, and the thing is fucking heavy. This is the first time, possibly in a very long time, that you have felt actual pain in your lower back trying to lift this thing.
Oh.
Ooh.
Like you feel it in
Lift
your
with you.
lumbar.
Ooh.
Well,
Felt it myself. Anyway, thanks.
I guess that's it.
Anything else people would like to engage with or examine while they're down here? Besides Karya trying to dig for gold.
Well, as this was going on, Flick is kind of looking over like the golem that P. Varker's standing next to, and he's going to look over to the others and then look over to Vark and say, "So, what are these golems anyway, Vark?"
From what I've been able to gather, these were created to prevent things from leaking onto our plane from where I come from.
So they're acting as security.
All this, and he gestures to all the, shadowy, tainted
Mhm.
stuff on the ground. That happened when I arrived here. This was where I first appeared.
And it's from the hole in the ground, yes?
Yes. That pit there.
Aye.
This,
So don't get too close, please.
this
Right.
bit of information would correlate with a bit of knowledge that Chico would have, namely being someone who has read a construct manual. That some golems, including some of the more advanced ones, adamantine included, are constructed to be completely immune to magic. Originally, this was made as a way of defending against enemy mages, as wizards would often make golems as a way of having magic immune soldiers that they can wage against each other. But as a way of acting as a countermeasure for a planar rift. Crazy, but it works. Oh yes, I do actually mean that. Adamantine golems are 100% magic.
So the fact that they're like this is even more terrifying.
Why did you need the golem's heart sort of thing?
I've already lost a master. I wouldn't risk losing any more. And if I can preserve this, then I will do my best to do so.
See. If it's a bit too much my questioning, I won't press any further.
Really quick, Sam, did you just delete a token?
Yeah, Chico did just delete your token.
Yep. Sam, you good?
Wait, huh?
Token's gone.
Sam, did you just
Wait,
delete
what?
your
Why is it? Wait, huh? What?
token?
Why is it gone?
Chico got bucked by aliens.
Control Z.
That's the
God.
Shadow Plane. Yeah, you accidentally deleted it.
Chico got abducted by aliens.
I walked away for like 2 seconds. What happened?
With me. Anyway. So. Anything else people would like to consult about or check around? I will say the only thing I can think of, besides the fairy in the box, is that one crystal that's left over.
Funny
that's
enough,
right,
I
there is
was.
one.
Yeah, funny enough, I was actually curious what's about that fairy in the box.
Yeah, looks to be a small fey humanoid. Gossamer wings that almost look like a cloak across his back. Locked in. It's not decomposition. It's there. Its eyes are closed, but it's not breathing. It looks pale.
Interesting.
They're fey. They always tend to be a little pale.
Wow, stereotype.
Yes.
Is that crystal ball next to it?
Yes.
Is that magical at all?
Crystal ball.
Is it magic
Wait
at
a
all?
Maybe give it a try.
To confirm, though, you said there was a second soul crystal?
Not a soul crystal. I was talking about the crystals on the table next to the lemon. Vark was using before. Yes, it is a crystal ball. Would you like to try it out?
How do I have it?
No, you've never used a crystal ball before. This is like someone from the the 1890s coming across a cell phone for the first time. How do?
I'll turn to Vark and I'll ask. Vark, do you need anything else from here? Because I'd rather not come back. I don't exactly like the look of whatever that is on the other side of the room. It makes me uncomfortable.
Well, it's home. To me, at least.
You'll see Chigo's face kind of go to a myriad of quick facial expressions and then settle down to a normal face and go, right, sorry.
Don't feel bad. I don't like it either. But it is what it is.
Anyway, while we're here, do you mind if I poke around a little bit more? Or would you rather me not? This is your stuff after all.
Well, it is now. No, I do not mind. Please go ahead.
Well, I immediately lock eyes on the crystal ball, and I guess I can. Detect magic. That'd be my best bet.
Spell.
I don't know. Detect magic. Does it have a magical aura? If yes, I have an idea to go off of. If no, it's just a ball.
One slight problem.
Yes, I know. Are you gonna wait?
You activate the spell and then are immediately flashbanged by a coruscating rainbow, overloading your senses. As everything
that's about
here
right.
has a magical aura.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You taste
Check about
colors.
to have a seizure from all the magical effects going off.
You taste
Wouldn't be
purple.
the first time.
You
Alright,
taste
stop
purple.
that.
Now we continue. You are inside of a magical pocket space. That much you're able to discern.
Okay, so that explains one thing. I always thought it was weird how we're just underground in a cave system. Anywho, I guess I'll just spell check the. Can I spellcraft the ball or use that item? Use that device?
Both work.
Well,
Well,
You do the best and the most logical thing that any new pioneer when it comes to magic technology. Shield your eyes and you poke it. And you feel an electric tingle run up your finger. And then a light spark glimmers into existence in the middle of the crystal ball. And then expands. You get a gentle suggestion of wait, as if it's waiting for what exactly?
what is it I want it, you say? Well, probably one of the I guess realistically one of the most on the mind currently would be Vark. So I guess I don't know. I think of Vark while looking at this thing because it's his.
In the crystal ball, you see swirling mist, and then it parts to show bird's eye view, staring down at the back of Vark's head as he looks at the lemon cabinet.
My eyes widen. My eyes widening at a sudden realization.
It's a scrying crystal.
Leaden cabinet. Lead.
Lemon.
Okay, lemon. I'm not crazy. Okay, so it's still okay. I was like, there's no way that it's just a lemon in a cabinet.
Oh, absolutely.
I-
It's a lemon in a glass case. What are you talking about?
Of course.
I touch the crystal ball again. I think of father.
There's a moment of disconnect.
With
It's almost
bait.
as if fusion. As if it doesn't know what you're asking for.
I go for his actual name. Fuck, what was it? Oh, hold on.
We know you know your dad's name. You don't gotta worry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Isn't
on
it
top of my head.
I know his name. Oh,
It was some kind of dwarvish name. Or
Um,
dwarven sounding.
Uh,
Craghammer,
Melgor.
Rock
Julian
Iron,
Bastion.
no,
Mm.
yeah, it was Felgor. That's a.
Elgor.
Did you just?
What? No.
Shit.
I forgot we were live. Sorry.
The hammer will come out.
Yeah, Felgor.
Think Felgor. The image in the ball shifts several times. First, it jumps to what looks to be a pile of things underneath a staircase. Then to a knife situated somewhere on a sandy beach. And then to a house you recognize.
Mind, I go. That one.
The image solidifies and locks onto it. And the scrying, whatever eye that is projecting attempts to move in. Feels like it's trying to go, but then as it approaches the walls, it bounces. The magical eye that the clairvoyant crystal projects perceives a barrier around your old house. Protection from scrying, perhaps?
Why?
Why would your father put those up on your own home?
Chaiko may or may not be essentially at this point putting her face into the ball, muttering, why?
Oh, great. Charco's gotten some of what I had.
Why did you turn British?
I don't know. I was trying to mutter and it did not come out correctly.
Why did Chaika have some of what I had?
She'll tear herself away after a moment and go, calm herself down and go, all right, I think it's time to go.
The image
I think
shifts
it's time
one
to go.
last time.
I
Eye perceives some kind of opalescent trail that looks onto, then the next moment, as if racing along a path, a speed that blurs your vision, The eye then once more bounces off of something. And as it retracts to give a wider range of view, shows a rock gnome on the side of the mountainside, guarded, it seems. Not guarded, frequented. What look to be people. Their likeness is blurry and hard to distinguish, and you do recognize, at the very least, the environment. It's the nature that surrounds your village. It's far, could it? But the image begins to break up as whatever stopped it from intruding into the hovel, whatever magic was stopping it, begins to break up the scrying attempt, and feet cuts.
All right, I've. So, gang, are we ready to leave?
What is that, Jago? Out of curiosity. I've turned British and I can't un-British. Ignore me. I hurt my back and the stick up my ass
Yeah.
that I have to illustrate.
It finally fell out of your ass, yes.
Are you all right?
Yeah, is everything okay?
Ugh.
A very obvious fake smile covers her face. Something you're not used to seeing on human Chico, but something you'd be very familiar with seeing her kitsune form from earlier on in this adventure. Yes, I'm fine, she says using that voice with seemingly to forget to transform into the other form. Yes, I'm fine. We can go on now.
Okay, I'll take that as a no. Yes, let's get going.
You are not fine, but let us move on. Yes.
Whatever do you... She takes a moment.
Don't.
She takes a moment to actually kind of realize the situation that she's in. Realize that she's not transforming. Go. Oh. Fine. Don't ask.
We weren't.
Good.
Okay.
Habits are funny.
Especially if they're unhealthy.
I should have used that scrying crystal to see if my fucking dad was still alive, but knowing him, he'd find out that I scryed him and burned the place down, so never mind.
You're also assuming he doesn't have some sort of non-detection spell on himself at all times.
I'm 150% sure that he does, but if it didn't work, that would mean I didn't look at a corpse, and that means that he's alive.
Yes. That's it. Anything else people want to do? Mark, I
don't
saw you
think
up
so.
against the lemon.
I don't believe so either.
No. Yeah. I will say that in a moment. I just want to relate relay rather a message from our friend Grim here. Imagine a crystal ball that specifically doesn't show you what you ask for, just teases.
Yes.
Call it a blue ball.
Yeah, he sent me that as well.
Grim, if and when I get the chance to meet you, you're in a world of hurt, mister.
Kill
Okay,
him.
I'll shoot
You're
him.
a very nefarious fella.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
He's also
We
been
love him for it.
subtly banking more misinformation. Good man. Yes. I will ask, do you intend to inspect that last lemon crystal?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. Waiting to exposit this.
I'm terribly sorry.
No.
The one crystal
No, it's
that I
fine.
left behind.
Fine. It's entirely within your agency to interact or not interact with whatever I put in front of you. once more, the voice that comes through this crystal is older, calmer, self-confident, assured in experience and expertise. This is the Lydia that must have been very close to when she summoned you for the second time. You hear a ruffling of paper. Sounds probably like a letter being opened. And then, I had nearly forgotten about this. Nearly 40 years ago, I had, so full of anger and piss and vinegar, taken such a personal affront from that druid, and then set out to destroy everything that mattered to him. I don't regret it. No. In fact, in a strange way, I'm almost thankful to him, because if it wasn't for the righteous indignation that he had inspired within me, I possibly would have stayed just within the Mage Corps in Rosina, and never struck out to follow the path that I did today. In the strange twist of things, I owe it to that druid. That will not, however, stop me from smiling and laughing as I read the new name of the lemon orchard positioned to the north of Rubido called Mendez's Folly.
That
Who
place.
was that guy?
I hear he was
That
so.
asshole.
I heard he was so ashamed that he left the country and told you. The place still bears his name, even years later. Apparently, the place has been growing quite well for a while now, and I only just found out. Revenge is sweet. It tastes like sun-ripened lemons. Go fuck yourself, Mendez.
Actually,
My.
one quick question to Vark. Hey, Vark, before we leave. Oh,
He laughs genuinely.
that is fucking Mendez. Fucking Mendez. Wait, does that mean? Yeah, so that means the guy who prevented Lydia from building, or at least exploring, was that Mendez guy. And
And something I actually omitted that I probably should have mentioned in one of them, I actually had it in my notes here, forgot to consult it, was thus. She had that lemon in the case was one of the very first lemons, one of the ones from the bag that the druid had handed to her. It's the very same one that she had then magically altered to be extremely fruitful, very resilient, highly combustible.
She really said fuck you and your lemons.
Yes.
Fuck this one guy in particular.
Oh yes, she took it incredibly personally, and it turned her into the woman she was up until she summoned Vark.
Damn.
So
She's
that-
fucking dead as hell, but I love her.
No, sometimes spite is a great word. So yes, Vark holding this lime green crystal in his hand. Out. And yeah, that is Lemon. That is Lydia and her, as they are referred to, her cinder citrus. Though most people just call them. Sorry. Yeah, they're the technical name is Mendesian lemons, but people call them cinder citrus or no. Sorry, I'm getting my fucking cues mixed up. The technical term is cinder citrus, but most people just call them Mendesian lemons because they come from Mendez's family. They make great fuel for a campfire and explode. That's, I believe, everybody was engaged with down here. The brain has been
Actually,
Oh.
one last thing, Vark. Can I borrow that crystal ball?
I'm not sure if it's safe to be carried around, but you're free to use it.
I'm going to nab the crystal ball and at least remove it from this part of the building because I feel like we're gonna be here at the tower for a little bit, for a good 1 to 2 days maybe. I like to just move it out of this basement essentially, or subspace. That is all. And obviously afterwards I'm going to be using it a lot, and I'll send you messages, out of character because I can ask so many questions. I can scry so many questions.
How sore are Holo Holo's arms? That's mostly a joke.
Right, quite so. Okay, so the four of you, once more. Which floor? Ground floor?
Let's say
I don't know how to work. I don't know how to work this teleporter thing.
Vark is the only one that can
Yeah.
operate it as it stands.
Yep.
So, yes, Vark, where to? What?
Good-
Want me to be your
good-
bellhop?
Good question, actually. Not the laboratory, obviously.
Just send us to where all the others are so we can tell them to take a bath.
Yeah.
Correct. You know what?
That's a ground floor.
Ground floor, yeah.
Zoom. Followed by Maria. Maria, who notices your arrival. And followed by her shielding her eyes and going, "God, put some clothes on!"
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Anyways, I pick up my handy haversack, put it back on.
well, as
Since he's
as Flick steps off the teleporter. If no one else is gonna be taking a bath right now, I guess it's my turn. And
Yes,
head upstairs.
Wait a minute. Did the two things? One, sorry, I've arrived dick out in front of everybody again. Two, did the bath come with us?
No. Oh?
No, the bath
No.
did not teleport either into the basement or here on the ground floor.
Here, hold on. Since I have my haversack back, I rummage through my bag and I pull out a cloak that I have in there. Toss it at Karya.
Upon
You get
seeing the
hit-
degeneracy
hit in
that
the
is
head.
Karya,
You get hit in the face with a folded cloak.
damn. Upon seeing the degeneracy that is Karya, I'm just gonna immediately cover my Cappy's eyes again.
Yeah. And before Flick heads up the stairs, he turns around and says to Vark and says, "But before I go up and draw myself a bath, glad I could help."
I'm terribly sorry, say it again.
Yep. Before Flick ascends the stairs, he turns back to Vark and says, "Before I head upstairs, glad I could help, Vark."
Thank you for helping. Now, please, enjoy yourself.
Of course. And I shall ascend the stairs.
Grim is just going to wrap fire points in the chat. I appreciate it. Also, yes, Grim, the ball having part charges be yours, not completely inaccurate.
Wait, huh?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You frighten me.
So yes, Flick heads upstairs for a bath.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, Siren was also on the ground floor. Or am I remembering
Yes.
that correctly? Okay, yeah.
I've gone downstairs
Mhm.
to pretty much just wait for any of the baths to become free.
Okay, cool. You would have also
Just chilling.
seen when the four of them teleported in, including
Very important to the story, by the way.
This is central. This is
Can I cast Fog Cloud but have it be exclusively just on Karya's
I think
lower
you've
half?
used Fog Cloud too much today. So also, he probably would have walked out and go, Siren, the bath is ready. You can all take one now.
So
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay.
So Chico has thrown
I
a
thought-
cloak at him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Thank God I don't.
I'll hold it and just kind of, he'll kind of look at it and go, Jago, my clothes are upstairs. I do not need your clothes, but thank you. Hand it back. Walk up the
I
stairs.
was half expecting to
I
start
toss it. I throw it harder.
I was half expecting to start chewing on it like a goat.
No.
What is this for? At that point, people,
guess-
I think, settle into something of a rhythm. Shamelessness aside, people rotate out. They get their individual baths. They change into fresh clothing. Maria is most certainly grateful to no longer be stewing in juices. And
Mhm.
Am I?
it will, depending on how long you guys want to stay, you are fully at leisure to do so. There are enough facilities within the tower to house all of you for a while. You do not grow thirsty or hungry while you're here within the tower's premise. You still can enjoy food and drink, but it's not required. As the entire tower has a enchantment of sustenance, much like a ring of sustenance, but affecting the premises. There are more parts of the tower to explore, potentially in a later session, if you want to. There are certainly still secrets stashed away, and also an entire floor people haven't visited yet.
Wait, we missed a floor?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
The
yeah.
observatory up
Observatory
the
on the
All
top.
right.
top floor.
Yeah. Siren. I was gonna say Chirin. Chico and Siren's child. Siren with squeaky clean feathers is gonna say, well, Vark, I guess have we seen everything, or are there other places we haven't seen that you'd like to explore as well?
There is the observatory on the top floor of this tower.
Hmm.
I haven't wandered up there myself yet.
Hmm. Would you
So,
like to?
Yes, very much so.
By yourself, or should we accompany you?
I don't believe there is anything that would require me to be there alone. You're
Not a
more than
requirement, but
happy to.
all right. I meant more just your personal comfort. Speaking of, what happened? You were all gone for a bit. Is everything okay?
Varkin Company needed my assistance in some surgery on a golem. I don't know if you I forget if you overheard or not.
To
I heard a
make a
bit.
long story short, in the basement of this tower, I discovered, well, multiple things really, but among them, a decaying golem made of adamantine, whose chassis was on the verge of falling apart. It contained a very delicate and priceless network of magically inscribed crystals that basically made up what can constitute to an artificial mind, a brain of sorts. If no action were to be taken upon the destruction or the decay of the chassis, the brain would eventually follow. So it needed to be removed safely. That is, and it is why I had to ask for the help of both Shaiko and Flick to do exactly that.
I see.
So yes, we performed surgery on a golem.
It was a pretty tense operation, all things considered. But a successful one, nonetheless.
Very much so.
And what of any traces of your previous master?
Well, and I feel like he consciously like rubs the markings on his hand.
Siren like cocks her head, confused.
I've learned that to allow me to manifest on this plane, she had to give up not only her life, but her soul as well. In fact, it is her soul that binds me to this plane.
My. That is the purest form of the word beloved that I have ever seen. She is with you
And-
always.
And so she lives in you.
In a
In a
way,
sense.
yes. These markings on my skin. Apparently they are comprised of her essence, and they are what almost literally hold me together.
Wait, do you remember back when you did that alchemical experiment inside with the void curse, and when you got infected by it, it looked like your markings were peeling off almost? Do you think,
Yes,
in a way, it hurt her as well when that
I'm
happened?
afraid so. Yes.
Oh.
Uh,
Ooh.
Can't imagine what that's
Although-
like.
All the more important that I managed to get rid of it.
Mm.
Maria chimes in and
Yes.
says it's also quite possible that was her helping you fight it.
Oh yes, I'm sure.
I did not consider the possibility of her being sentient in a way. It's not in a way to do that.
Souls are strange. They're hard. Their inner by nature are very hard to understand. All we know is that they lend us our identity, I suppose, our essence. If our essence is together in one place, then that is us. So, Siren, I think, is correct. She is with you.
Yes.
I'm sure she cares. Genuinely.
Certainly, I would think so. Very few people would pay such a price for somebody else.
Yeah, that is very much correct.
Clear she invested a lot if she wanted you to live.
You're a very lucky man, but
Very lucky. And beloved.
Yes,
Yes.
very much so. Thank you very much.
But I am sorry for your loss. Though it isn't really a loss if you think about it. More of a transformation. Which is
Well,
what that is, regardless.
My plan, as it is, has not changed really. I've just been giving more reason to act on it. I am not sure if I ever mentioned it before, but I plan to find a way to bring her back.
Good.
it does present one issue. You require her soul to bring her back, but if her soul is what's keeping you,
Mm-hmm.
doing so would send
Yep.
you back home. Worse, possibly even
Mm-hmm.
tear you apart.
Just kill you, perhaps.
That is by necessity what happens when a creature from another plane goes back to its home. If you kill an angel or a devil, they go home. They don't die. Then, then
Well, preferably I would like not to die. But if it comes down to it, we'll see. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it.
do you think that it seems to almost have something of a tip. Are you familiar with the concept of plane touched? First time I get to flex some of the actual part of Maria that actually has to do with her being a paladin.
Plain touch, you
I-
say?
I don't believe I do, no. Please enlighten me.
To be plane touched is to bear the mark of another plane entity. This is often the case for interbreed children between extraplanar creatures and between one plane's creatures and another. This is our plane with another plane. Here, for an example of this, you are plane touched of air.
Yes. I'm
Uh,
very gassy, you could say.
Please never say
Sorry.
that again. For your own dignity, please never say that.
I shoot Sierra in the chest.
Hold
I break her teeth.
being an elf of aquatic origin, you at the very least bear markings of the plane of water. Vark is a strange example of someone who has the soul of a material plane creature as well as that of a shadow plane creature, which I've never heard. To say I don't think I've ever heard of an instance of an outsider from the shadow plane staying here for any length of time would be accurate.
Mm.
But there is cases of in some of the religious writings that Eridine would rather nobody ever see the light of day. That those extraplanar entities with substance who can manifest without having to dissolve after a time. Usually those that have been cut off from sort of that divine benefactor. Case of celestials that exist on our plane that then turn their back on their god. As a result, no longer gain power from them, and so must draw the material plane from those who reside on it. And as they spend time there, they develop an affinity for the plane until eventually they become second nature natives, plane touched in their own right, but through osmosis, I suppose. What I'm saying is, maybe with time, maybe with exposure, maybe with something else, Vark, you could gain substance just by being here. Of course, I wouldn't know the signs of that. Maybe physical changes, maybe the way you perceive the world. I wouldn't even know what would be pragmatic to perform this ritual when you would be ready to do so without being torn apart. But it's not my area of expertise. I think if anybody here will know when it's time, it will probably be you.
That is a comforting thought. Thank you very much for bringing it up. I suppose there's nothing to do but wait and see, I suppose, if it holds true.
I mean, as far as I know, there may be ways of speeding it up, for all I know. I don't know, have you noticed any differences?
I would be excited to try it.
Actually, oh, I just would Mark like to roll me intelligence? See.
Absolutely. That was not me leaving.
Yeah, no, can you absolutely leaves.
That's Lynn. Lynn to
Runs.
Steam
That's
Junction.
funny.
Fully. Our buddy what's the Mallory, our buddy Mallory.
Funny. Yeah. Okay. Intelligence, you say?
He's her sole beneficiary of her last will and
Oh
testament.
my god.
Yeah, that's
Oh my god.
very nice for a total of 30.
Why don't you flex on us a little bit more,
Galaxy brain moment.
Wow, I wish I had the potential. I have the more than the potential to roll that high. I wish I could roll that high.
Yeah, bro, that's tough. Anyways,
I think that's what makes it worse. Fucking goddamn it.
Your
It's a
mind-
skill issue. No, I'm kidding.
your
It
mind-
is
skill
actually,
issue?
it is a luck issue.
Your mind goes back to that moment you shared with Siren back in the society. Last little thing you did before you left. You smeared that bookmark with
Even white, yeah.
not white, but the
Redder.
Red.
it was bright red. In comparison to the normal dull, rusty shade that your blood was when you got here.
Alright, I have to bleed over many things. Cut me
Yes.
off.
Alright, Karya,
Doing
kill me. Beats the shit out of you.
Hey.
Hands him a knife.
full fear and hunger here. Jesus Christ. You're anky.
Ow. Cat.
Yes. I will say, over the time you guys spend here, you get your baths, you get time to rest. Consider yourself as having gotten a full rest. So spells, and features, health
Okay.
all come back.
Would I have gotten my dexterity score back because of the last combat?
Right, you got damage on your dexterity. It's 1 per full
Yeah.
rest.
Yup.
Ah, okay.
I would say, before we tie off this session, because it is getting to that time, do you guys want to see the observatory?
May as well,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Show us.
The Greeted Golem does pipe up with that. Start rolling your saves. Yes. I'm hoping my. Just noticed my mic has been kind of spotty and picking me up. I'm hoping it hasn't been cutting out.
No, you've been completely fine. I haven't been.
Yeah,
you
no,
haven't been
no.
cut
Yeah.
out.
Okay. I'm also hoping that the recording has been picking me up. I might have moved my mic too far away. Shit. Oh, well, I'm hoping that it picked up in the
Oh,
recording.
you've been. Yep.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's different. Sometimes the recording
At least you in
doesn't.
Discord.
Sometimes the recording doesn't
okay.
pick up quite as well as it does in the Discord. It's weird. The threshold I think for OBS might be. I have to look at that later. That would fuck up the entire recording. Shit. Nobody's looking at that now. Oh. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Graham. That's reassuring. This is probably things I should check in at the beginning of the fucking broadcast. Anyway, so the Greeted Golem does pipe up and says, before you go upstairs to the observatory, I should let you know it is the narrowest space within the tower. I would suggest not bringing too many people at once. Perhaps spacing out the groups that you send up. platform that you will end up on is large enough to bear 2 or 3 people, but I would suggest no.
Very well. Thank you for the warning.
No problem. And if you were to take turns going through the portal, find yourselves landing in a cozy attic.
The giant telescope. Oh my god.
Every wizard house gonna have one.
I was about to say that tracks
It's
Very
mandatory.
much.
Finally, I can find a new home.
Wow,
Maybe
I can see my
space
home from here.
Can't see the
Hear me
dragon
out.
from here.
Base dragons. Actually, the astral dragons do exist. I just remember that. I'm not. I'll have to do something even more.
I think there's kind of sort of such thing as sun dragons too, maybe,
I believe that is
or
that's-
solar dragons at least.
solar dragons a
I
fake
know-
thing, or are they
I know of pyroclastic dragons, but that's
pyroclastic dragons are volcano dragons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the
Also-
pyroclastic dragons.
Pyroclastic dragons are ridiculous. They have lava breath and disintegration beams.
Yep, I love them. They're so
Oh.
great.
They're also total bullshit because they're like epic level CR 36 or something.
Jesus, yeah.
When I say that their breath is literally just a line of disintegration, it's a beam of ash that just dissolves whatever it hits. It's yes. You have a platform from which you may observe the stars, as well as potentially look down at the land around you. Little cozy hammock that no doubt she used to nap in while observing the lands. And honestly, oh, hello there.
A Modron.
Not quite.
Is it this
See a
one
little
over here?
little eye stalk and a pair of blue hands peering over the side of a high-mounted hammock hanging off the wall very high.
It's a smaller hammock for a smaller little boy.
Tiny hammock for a tiny little homunculus with one big eye.
little man.
What does it tell me?
What on
It is
earth are you?
homunculus. I'm Peeps.
Hello, peeps.
Nice to meet you.
I'm like,
Nice to meet you.
You doing this stargazing or maybe some people watching?
there.
There.
Well, aren't you a curious little
Stare.
bugger?
I'm curious. It's what I was made for.
Huh. So you're meant for, what, observing people?
Observing all kinds of things. I keep an eye out around the tower. I alert whenever there's danger. I saw you guys beating back those bandits before. Horrible, awful people. How could they do that? Yes. I watch the stars and I keep charts sometimes. I ran out of paper a while ago. This place is it's my home, and sometimes I use a telescope. Sometimes I look out the window. And sometimes I watch the astrolabe spin.
Oh. Interesting. How did Lydia create you?
Same way she created anything with her hands. For me, she I think she said she made me out of bird bones, then she stitched leather over me, and then she animated me.
That does about line up with basic golem crafting, referencing that tome I read long ago.
Just the one eye kind of goes between all the different people says. But he doesn't say anything further. He just takes turns looking each of you in the eyes.
I stared it back.
Are you two having a staring contest?
There.
There.
Also, Grim, as it happens, Pathfinder does have magical scopes. Specifically to help with things like seeing through darkness or giving a true strike bonus to your next shot. Stuff like that.
There's
Oh,
also
that's
one
cool,
for
actually.
seeing invisibility too,
There's
for
one that has,
firearms.
there's a
Yeah.
seeing visibility scope you can mount onto a rifle. Among many, there's probably many other things. There's probably one for like true sight. You could at least make one. It would be stupid expensive, but you could. Yes.
And once you get that funny money, nothing is impossible.
Hey. Yeah. You guys have met Peeps. He's the observatory homunculus. He keeps an eye on things.
A living security camera.
Literally.
Yes, literally. He keeps an eye. It's the only one he's got.
He gives it his everything. His eye.
Yeah, he kind of stands up in his hammock and sways a little bit underneath him. A pair of blue bat wings come up from under his shirt, and he flaps and then alights on the telescope as he looks down at Mark. Howdy there.
Greetings.
You're
It's
the
a
new man
pleasure
of the
to meet
house,
you.
huh?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah,
My name is Vark. I am beloved.
like a bluebird hops down the length of the telescope. So eventually he's at the end where the eyepiece is. He puts out one tiny blue hand to you. Nice to meet you. I'm
I,
Peeps. I'm
I reach out with my index finger.
grasps it, shakes. Says, "Well, looking forward to keeping a good eye on the place. Well, I don't know what you're going to do with the place.
I
Boy left.
don't have any
Good time
concrete
for him.
plans yet. I don't have any concrete plans yet. However, I will count on you to keep an eye on the place. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Purpose in life, after all. Anyway, speaking on just was there a lot of people? It's kind of crowded in here.
You know, this may not be the right time, but Varg, I have a question that has been plaguing me since we've arrived.
Yes? Go on.
Well, now that we've explored all of these rooms and all of these floors, what exactly was your master doing that was of such importance that it would create, well, this situation that we're in? They were after whatever she was cooking in here, for lack of a better term, and well, I've yet to see something that would be worth dying over. I mean no disrespect, but to you, yes, but to them, are we missing something?
From what I have gathered, it is simply not a misunderstanding, but a false expectation of what might be stored in here. Not to say that the things that are in this tower are not of value, especially to the right people, but it is not filled with magical treasure troves that the bandits outside spoke of. As for
Ca-
why people would die for this, they well, they didn't plan to. We caused that. But others surely sent them to die.
Also of mention was that there was some talk of some sort of magnum opus that she was working on.
I always kind of assumed that was Vark.
Yeah, looks at Vark.
May very well have been. See the tree treasure. It's
Guys,
the friend you made with Mark.
guys. The magnum opus is the lemon orchid, obviously. Hello.
Clearly,
You're yeah. You know what? Honestly,
It's actually a nuclear bomb.
where?
All the trees connect to a giant magical orb underground. The lemonades, yeah. No, could very well be that I am the culmination of all our efforts. Which is why, if I want to make sure that I am not at constant risk of being stolen or killed, especially in light of what I found out recently, I believe it in my best interest to ensure that the Vistani are no longer existent to plague me. I'm going to kill them all.
I think that's a good place to end the session.
Okay.
Very much for playing.
We're running
Thanks for
again,
having us.
homeboy.
Throw up the to be continued
That was a twofer.
sign.
Dun, dun, dun. Thank you guys very much for playing and for doing a double up. Weekend, Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for the self-care, Grim, to send us out as usual. Yeah, that was a heavy.
That was
heavy one.
that was a doozy of a review
Mhm.
for Vark.
I've been holding on to that
I-
one for months.
I hope I gave it a good enough try to for the roleplay.
Vera, I say this like I did. I think shortly after meeting, like really getting to know you, way before this ever was a thing. You have always been one of the most passionate actors and role players that I've ever known. You did amazingly.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, it's funny because like several people poked me at one point when we were starting up Genesis, like right as we had hit my max. I was like, yeah, I can't really comfortably run with anyone else. And then people were like, hey, we should really add Vera. I think he'd fit. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know. It was more than one. Several people approached me and they're like, yeah.
There's a good
All
egg.
aboard the Vera Express.
Barely.
No,
You look
I
good.
made myself cry again during that.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember you
Aw.
said as much. The method acting got to you. Yes, I appreciate your passion and your dedication and the investment.
I appreciate you for allowing me to live out those not fantasies. That's wrong. For giving me a stage, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tabletop has always been a cooperative storytelling. It's I want to say experience because that's a bit trite. Cooperative storytelling project collaboration. Whatever the word. Regardless, it's a team effort. I provide the stage. I provide the world. You guys bring the character to it. You are
Hell
the
yeah.
driving force. You are what makes the world worth watching. Because otherwise, I'd just be writing a fucking book. you guys bring an element to the story that I try as hard as I fucking could, but I would never be able to, because I'm not you guys. Each of you brings a unique and precious angle and experience and perspective that is irreplaceable, that I could not do without. It would not be simple walk without you, my players. So thank you.
Yeah, well, but
I love each and every one of you. Thank you very much for playing today and for going for a double session, as I said before. Grim, thank you for being here. Chaos, yes. Players bring conflict and chaos, which is essential for a good story. So yes, thank you.
I was about to say you need a spark to start a fire that helps the furnace to burn.
Precisely. Yes. Thank you, Grim, and those who watch. And thank you to my players who engage with the world and make it as wonderful as it is. I will wrap up the session there for today, and I will bid you all adieu. Thank you very much.
Sounds
See you
Farewell.
next time.
Sounds
Fair
good.
as you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Thank you for running,
Goodbye.
as always.